Taurus, I am going to make myself a little drink since I'm hanging out with my little indulgelistas today. I am going to do your April 2020 reading, and I'm stepping outside of the box today. I'm just kind of letting my hair hang out of this hat I'm wearing, and I'm going to, make myself a little drink before I do your reading. Definitely not for kids. I'm making a, what is it? I guess it's going to be like a Moscow mule or whatever. Maybe not. Some sort of mule. Okay? But it's going to be, your quarantine mule. Because maybe I wasn't able to find any ginger beer, but I did find some ginger ale. And for you bartending people out there who are like, ew, he's using ginger ale. I know. It's okay. Don't be mad at me today. And I'm also using a lemon instead of a lime. Da-da-da. Let me see. And I will definitely put in the description box when the actual video starts, which won't be too long from now. And if you guys and gals absolutely cannot stand that I'm doing this, I mean, who would not? Okay, and it's beautiful too, because you're a Taurus and I'm a Libra. And look at it, right? All right, darling. Right? That's what people think when they think I'm Taurus and Libra too, to a degree. I hope I did everything right with that. I have no idea. But Taurus, I am going to go ahead and get started with your reading. Let's go ahead and choose something for us to listen to while we're doing it. And I was going to wear something in celebration of the exaltation, and that's pretty much why I'm doing this, because the moon is exalted in Taurus today. I'm also wearing something around my neck, which Taurus rules the neck, and being that the moon is exalted, I'm wearing a necklace that is fertility, right? Feminine energy. Okay, Taurus. I also know Tauruses, and a lot of them like to wear accessories and hats and things. Okay, so here we go, Taurus. I'm going to actually be using the Druid's Tarot today. Okay, so it kind of is a little bit large. And when I was shuffling the deck earlier to get myself ready for your reading, I did what I do. And what came up at the bottom was what? Six of Pentacles, which is Moon in Taurus, right? Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and get ready for you. I will also be using the Romance Angels Oracle card deck by Doreen Virtue, which I'm sure 7 of Wands, moving forward, facing some adversity. I'm sure some of you know that Romance Angels Oracle deck. Maybe some of you are facing some troubles or some difficulties within a relationship. Maybe there's distance that's, getting in the way. But the way that you might be relating to the reality now might just not be comfortable for you. You're comfortable at home and you like to sort of like relax, but you also like to make money. You like to be busy because you know that you're actually doing something that is productive. And being productive around the house is only but so satisfying. Definitely stay active in your body, okay? Stay fit, thinking about, or, just stay very conscious of how you are treating your body. how your body might be responding to you, right? You know, just listen to it. Prince of Cups is at the bottom of the deck right now, which is the equivalent of the Knight of Cups. You're leaving that energy of, you know, being deep in the thought or being trying to figure out what to do about something, you know? And now you're moving forward and you're showing someone some compassion. You might be feeling a little bit vulnerable. You're starting to understand that, like, wow, I need to be a little bit more forgiving of other people because I'm realizing that I want them to be that forgiving of me just the same. You know, you could be dealing with that as well. So now let me go ahead and cut the deck. All right, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is Venus and Virgo, which is your planetary ruler. This is talking about, you know, individualism, right? And work, you know, maybe focusing on the work and keeping to yourself while you focus on the work. You know, it is your ruler being in your element, but not necessarily in her sign. Venus is debilitated in Virgo because she is exalted in Pisces. So this is saying, like, this is how you might have been, right? I was just talking about how the Knight of Cups is showing the compassion and wants to move forward with compassion and with love, okay? And this is kind of like, no, I'm just kind of like focusing on me over here. There is definitely something that might be distancing us right now, physically distancing us, which makes sense. Physically distancing, social distancing. This might even be the actual um, problem, right? And then that Knight of Cups or that Prince of Cups that came up could be someone that is actually showing themselves and trying to open themselves up to seeing you or present themselves to seeing you or maybe even be propositioning you in some kind of way, but you're actually like, no, I'm actually physically distancing. This is different. I'm starting to adjust to the physical distancing, you know, and it's almost kind of like keeping yourself busy too with your time. How are you keeping yourself busy with your time? What are you making of your time? You know, this is also a point of discovery too, because you are trying to realize what it is that you can do with your time that is going to be of use to you. Things that are going to bring about, you know, results for sure. You're thinking of results with this nine here, and also being that you're Taurus, you're really focused on results. And the nine is talking about almost nearing the completion of something. Yeah, so I mean, you know, you might even be feeling like this for you, Taurus, could even be ending a relationship just because, you know, there is no way for you to even continue to bring any attention to nurturing something that doesn't ultimately have to do with how you might be needing to take care of yourself, if that makes any sense. Okay, so now the deck has been cut. Thank you for watching. I know the beginning of the video I made a little. I'm not even drinking it. I'm not someone that likes to drink. I thought I was going to be celebratory with you guys. But here I am. Okay, so the Nine of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck. So we're focusing on work. What are your goals, too? Because the nines are very goal oriented. Nine of Pentacles, very goal oriented. So that could also be detaching you from, you know, what your focuses might have been otherwise before. You know, because this is a nine and it talks about an experience, you know what I mean? It talks about time and evolution and just kind of like things changing because it is mutable. So it's like your feelings may have changed about something. Your feelings might be changing about your job, or your feelings might be changing about, you know, they just might be adjusting to like what your limitations might be as well, you know? But you're learning what your limitations are, and you're also learning how you can expand upon, move past those limitations, you know, but it's taking a little more focus. for you right now. It's taking a little bit more focus from you as well. You know, it's almost like you might even be distracted from focusing on relationships because money is an issue, time is an issue, work is an issue, food is an issue. It's like all of these things might be an issue right now. You know, so it's kind of like bringing you back into yourself. So you're going inward and you're really just focusing on what it is that what it is that really matters to you the most. Okay? So let me go ahead and lay your cards out. At the top. Oh. Yes. All right. Here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and choose one of the cards from the Runes Oracle deck right here. And then we're just going to, you know, try to see like what the energy is going to be for you before I flip over any of your tarot cards, okay? It's Earth Day. Happy Earth Day, Taurus. You're the first Earth sign. And you know, on Earth Day, what do you know? The moon is exalted, and so is the sun. And that exaltation just means that they're at their highest level of capabilities. They're very happy there. You know, so there could be some energy that just might be making you feel like you're pushing past where you might have been before. You know what I mean? You're putting yourself out there maybe a little bit more, taking risks. There might be a risk that you might even be concerned about, you know, going for something. You know, this journey that we're going on with this COVID thing is going to take a little bit longer than most people anticipated. It really is just kind of like understanding and keeping that connection to yourself through all of it so you don't forget who you are. Perth, though, keeps coming up at the bottom of this deck, which is talking about challenges, taking risks, not actually even looking back. Because if you look back, you're going to throw yourself off. So it is what I was saying before with keeping your focus moving forward, like the 9 does, like the moon, which is number 18, that one in that 8, 9, evolution, okay? Cycles. Wow, here we go. This card came up again. This is kind of remembering who you are, you know, through all of this. Also, the value that you have within yourself, you know? Who do you see when you look in the mirror, right? Are you looking in the mirror? Are you reflecting? Are you reflecting too much? Are you ignoring what you might be reflecting on? Do you get emotionally triggered by what you are reflecting on? Does it have to do with past, present, and future? The future is uncertain. So you don't need to think about the future. You just need to think about the moment right now. One step at a time. One thing leads to another, you know? And it's kind of like keeping yourself steady too at the same time. It's like that card that kept coming up with the person balancing. This person is balancing something too, right? Trying not to tip it over. It kind of has that Ace of Cups energy from the tarot. But then it's also, you know, that symbol looks like a 10 as well. So when we wrap that up, it's talking about the individualization of the experience and how you deal with the experience when you don't have others to rely on, to look towards, or sort of blame or anything like that, you know? Another card is laying here, and I didn't choose it, but it slid out, so I'm going to choose it as well. But this card, this is from the runes. It's called Gibo or Gebo. I'm not really, you know, familiar with all of the pronunciations. Okay, Ihuaz. This one as well. This one is talking about determination, risk. Do you believe in yourself? You know, it's kind of like visualization. You have to visualize where you want to go and believe that you can get there. You have to believe that you can persevere, you know, because this card speaks of perseverance to me and ambition as well, you know, because the ambition comes from a place that you feel like you can see yourself going. You just have to push through it, which is what this is doing. It's that energy of three, right? Multiplicity. Being able to, see and do all the things that you know you can. It's kind of like a bridge, too. If you sort of like resist moving forward or pushing past your obstacles or challenging yourself, then it's almost kind of like you are not building that bridge to success. You are not connecting to that thing. And I know we might even be feeling like our ambition is being stifled by our reality right now because our reality is so fixed and we are in a fixed season, which is Taurus. We've been dealing with this for a while, but now we really feel fixed. You know what I mean? But it's exalted right now, so we're sort of making the best of it. The moon in Taurus is making the best for what for me. I feel secure, you feel secure, we all feel secure. It's everyone wants to feel secure right now, comforted, right, informed even. Okay? Because Taurus, we are talking about what you ignore, what you choose to ignore, what you believe, what you don't believe, what you subscribe to, because there's other stuff that you may not be subscribing to. So you're not focused on that. You're not thinking about that. What are you thinking about right now? It's very much an out of sight, out of mind. So that's why this Nine of Pentacles came up, because it's like, look, I'm just really focused on survival, and I'm focused on, what it is that I have going on right here that I'm dealing with in this moment. It's like all of our lives are kind of slowed down, but everything is like it's a conveyor belt, and we're like, okay, what is this? What can I do with this? Like what? And something else is coming in, and then maybe nothing's coming down the conveyor belt, and you're just like, oh my god, like this is like crazy, and then you're like, oh, something's coming. Okay, let me do something with this. Anyway, here we go. Let me go ahead and flip over the center card for you. High Priestess. What do you know? Right? Imagination, creativity, making the connection, but it's also the fear that we have in going to those places that are sensitive and vulnerable, right? Because it is almost kind of like out of the ordinary and kind of outside of the box, right? Our feelings, we're having these out of the ordinary emotions that might be extreme emotions, and we're trying to deal with how to navigate through those extreme volatile emotions. I'm like, I don't want my car to get burned by the candle. We're trying to deal with that, emotions. Okay? And this Nine of Pentacles does talk about how you are being emotionally affected by your reality right now. You know? In esoteric astrology, the moon is connected to Virgo. Okay? Anyway, the High Priestess is Pisces energy. And it's also Venus, Neptune, Jupiter. Okay? So your insecurities may be growing, and you may have a heightened awareness of your insecurities right now. Okay? We all do, because we're in your season and the sun is there. So you know this the most, because things have shifted, things have changed, and Taurus does not want anything to change really, except for maybe that bank account going up. You know what I mean? Because you guys are the first earth sign, so you love money. Venus loves money. Libra loves money as well. But, this just talks about how your emotions are stirred up, and you become aware of your insecurities and your sensitivities, right? So how are we going to channel that energy? We have to turn it into something positive, right? There's positive and there's negatives to everything. Your feelings aren't good or bad, you know what I mean? But how you deal with them might be. You know what I'm saying? For me too. And a lot of the times, like this past week, I've been overly emotional. I've been kind of depressed. And I've been thinking about what it is, and it's funny, the High Priestess card came up, and I have this right here, look, untouched. But the High Priestess card came up, and it is talking about being able to cope and deal with the emotional process that we might be feeling held back by or controlled by. You know, you are in control of your emotions, hopefully, right? Because we can be like, look, emotions, I'm not afraid of you. I know that you are there, right? So you have to give them that acknowledgement that it wants, the emotional self. That's the moon, right? And the moon is exalted in Taurus. And you know, Pisces, the high priestess, the moon is there. Okay? So I have to acknowledge that part of myself and give life to it. The high priestess being a two, as above, so below. It's very like very much alive, you know, that place. So you have to acknowledge it. You have to see it for what it is, right? Because it's not about how we can distract ourselves with what is outside of us. It's what is inside of us, right? And when we're thinking about what's inside of us, that's our conscience. That's, you know, it's very pure when we can kind of like just zone out. This is talking about meditation too in a way, and maybe meditating on something creative as well. Okay? Doing something, keeping yourself busy, right? Even if it's escaping with something that otherwise would be an indulgence for you in a typical scenario that we would be, you know, usually living in. But now it's okay. You literally can do something for hours in a day and not feel bad about it because you need something to do with your time. You know, for those of us that have that luxury. um, and you like luxury, Taurus. So the high priestess is there. Ooh, this is good. And I was gonna say, well, I hate it when, you know, I was gonna say, but it's kind of like the high priestess is also very magical, you know? She is visualizing things that they are visualizing things that they would like to see come into fruition. They're trying to connect with something that is deeper and even rich, but also pure at the same time. The pure essence of yourself. We're having to really look at that and connect with that, right? It's a mirror, the high priestess. You're taking a look at yourself and how you might be emotionally triggered by how you are reflecting what you are seeing of yourself may be making you feel uncomfortable, right? Okay, so what are we going to do with that? How are we going to make it useful? Where do we see the potential within this moment, right? This is encouragement. This is potential. This is awareness of creative potential, right? It is a beginning, it's a start. You've got to start somewhere. Because sometimes we could be a little bit complacent in this energy, right? We could be complacent in that energy. But this is saying you got to start somewhere. How is he going to get across this, right? Bam. You can't take that. How are you going to make it? How are you going to get there? How are you going to create momentum for yourself? Do it. Create that momentum that you need to push forward, right? So the Ace of Wands is bringing challenges with creating momentum. Mm. Or, you know, how are you easily influenced in how it sort of like prevents you from getting started. But you've got to get started because once you get started, you will have started. And you'll be there where you have been trying to get, right? Wow. Let's look at your past. How has that gotten you to this place here? King of Swords. Thinking about something, thinking about someone. Someone has been on your mind. You've been fixed on a thought process. The King of Swords came up, so you might be dealing with a Libra, Gemini, or an Aquarius here, right? Being a Taurus. And this is also talking about being set in your mind on something, you know, or maybe even being stubborn in your mind on something, right? It is Aquarius, but then it is also 1/3 Capricorn, right? Being fixed in the mind, being structured in the mind, right? And this is double air, okay? So it's kind of like, you know, air gets through the cracks. It also erodes things. So you could be spending a lot of time, or you were spending a lot of time thinking. You might have even been feeling like you were wasting your time thinking or worrying about something, about money or about time, you know, all of that. But now I feel like you are realizing what it is that you can do with your time. Yeah? And if you haven't, you're going to get to the point where you're going to start doing something with that complacency. You know? Because it's kind of like, you know, there are different types of motivation. Some things you can't some things you can't really see as being motivational, right? Some motivation is an illusion, right? It's hidden behind something. So it's kind of like you have to get past what it is hidden behind to see what it is that could potentially motivate. Also, you know, just the detachment from people too. That's something that's an issue, right? The detachment from people. But it's really good because we're starting to focus on ourselves and what it is that we needed to focus on anyway, right? We're strengthening the weak parts of ourselves in these moments because it's the weaker parts of ourselves that begin to show, and for some, the stronger parts too. It just depends on who you are and how you react or respond to changes, right? Sudden ones too. And ones that don't allow you to live within your neutral reality. Whatever that is. Let's look at your sun position. Nine of Cups. Okay, so the sun is bringing some focus to, you know, your wishes. What are you wishing for? What are you thinking about? You know, the goals, the new goals, right? Because the Nine of Cups, that is Jupiter and Pisces. Jupiter is the ancient ruler of Pisces. Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces, okay? It is a nine. The ninth house is Sagittarius. Jupiter also rules Sagittarius. So this is luck. You know, so you could be feeling a little bit more lucky in your spirit, right? You might even be feeling a little bit more optimistic right now, you know, because it is your birthday season. You know, you'll be spending it differently here, right? And you know that with the King of Swords being in the past. I know that it's gonna be different, you know. Thinking outside of the box. How can I make something something even with, you know, how I feel like I'm being challenged as well? But the sun, or the sun position here in the reading, the Nine of Cups here is saying that, you know, you're hopeful, you're optimistic, and you feel like that feeling is growing, you know? Staying creative, you know? The nines are talking about going inward and discovering something. And so in this moment when we have to really deal with ourselves on more than we probably do, when we're doing our regular day-to-day life, because of some of us can escape in our work mode and focus on our work and focus on people at work, and then we're just spending much more time with ourselves right now. And maybe we needed this. We needed this roundup. We needed this shift of energy. We definitely did not need COVID-19, and we definitely didn't need people dying or any of that. But what can we do in this moment, right? What we need to do, and this could be like, what do I need to do for myself? What do I want to do for myself as well? This is kind of like foundation as well. So we're thinking about our emotional foundation, you know? We're trying to figure it out. We're navigating through our emotional process. And we're trying to, you know, get to the other side of this successfully. Day to day, you know, it's kind of like our emotions right now change like the weather. And the reason is because, every day is different. Every day is definitely different. Let's look at your moon position, right? We did see the moon in Taurus come up twice when I was shuffling earlier. The Five of Wands came up in your moon position. So maybe a Leo could be affecting you emotionally, or maybe, you could be experiencing some resistance with a Leo, or you could be experiencing some sort of resistance with roommates or parents or something like that, because the Five of Wands is Saturn and Leo. And the fives are related to fixed energy because the Hierophant, Taurus, you rule the fives, all of them, right? So they're all fixed. And this right here, Saturn and Leo, talks about how the ego is being challenged, or the ego might be being resisted by a group of people. This could be at work, this could be, in a living situation, or this could just kind of be you experiencing an ego check that might be coming from something that's bigger than you in some kind of way. You know what I mean? It's almost like no one is checking your ego. It's like karma, or the world, the universe, your environment, whatever it is checking your ego for you. I'm getting check your ego at the door as well. But this is fun and games. Leo likes fun and games, and this is saying like the fun may be being taken out of it, the game may be taken out of it. Is it playing games? Is that the problem? Is someone in a relationship playing games? Is someone at work playing games? Do you feel like, you're struggling with how you can earn income, and it's affecting you emotionally, and you feel like, just I'm playing games, or we're playing games, or this is games, that type of thing. This is almost kind of like not even getting the attention or getting the results that you want to see, because Taurus and the fives, this is talking about results, right? Even the fixed signs are talking about results. So this is saying like something hasn't been resolved too, emotionally. So you may haven't emotionally resolved something. That is amazing. Right? So emotional resolve. We're looking for that as well. Because look, the sun, Nine of Cups, emotions, right? Where I want to go with this. It's kind of like I really want to experience feeling better. Right? It's all right. Everybody's going through it. The Magician. Yes. I love that card because that card talks about the awareness of where there is potential to show leadership quality or to access the leadership quality within oneself, right? And the aces are all ruled by the Magician. Lead, taking the lead, getting started, motivation. Where's the leadership here? You got to move forward, okay? And the Magician is here. So this card that I picked up here is usually directly correlating with the Five of Wands, but today I feel like the Magician is correlating with the immediate influence, which is the Ace of Wands. But the aces are talking about the self, and the fives are also talking about the self in a way. Fifth house is Leo, right? We're talking about attention too, right? You could this is kind of like it's in a moon position, so it's talking about your emotions, and then it's talking about that Leo energy of getting attention. Maybe somebody's just wanting attention or needing attention, you know. This is also kind of like not Saturn rules the skin and the body, right? And Leo is talking about attention. So is there attention being brought to the body, or we feel that the resistance of the temptation to bring attention to the body as well? It's challenging right now because you don't get to experience that sensuality or those tactile connections with people that you normally would like to. So you feel like you're not able to do any of that. It's like everything is different. The way that you even have fun is different. I'm doing crossword puzzles. I'm not, but maybe some of you are. I'm doing like readings and stuff like that and working out. But we're dealing with that. But now look, what do you have on the table here? Look, what can I access? Right? What is possible? Where's the potency here? What is really shown to me? What is being shown to me here? What can I do with what I've got? What am I going to do? That's what the Magician asks. What am I going to do? And we ask ourselves, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? So you have anxieties about what you're going to do about something. And it could be about work, you know? And it just could be about, how the finances are all competing with each other. Which one am I going to pay today? Which bill am I going to pay this week? You know what I mean? That type of thing. All right, let me go ahead and flip over your Mars. Okay. But this is good in a way. But it kind of also scares me a little bit, Taurus, because it's the Mars position, and the card that you got in the Mars position is the Tower, which is Mars. So something is going to change. Something is going to be maybe shaken up in a way. Maybe you're going to do something. This is a strong move by you. Because Mars suggests what you should do. And, the tower is number 16. And that is a 7. So this could be a relationship that is ending. This could be one that was kind of like on the rocks. And this could also be like a job that might be ending or might be being put on pause for some of you guys in some kind of way. This could also be moving. Some of you might have even planned to move, and your date is coming up to move throughout all of this. I know a couple of people who have moved, right? Because it was just, it was scheduled for them. So it was like they really didn't, and that was kind of like earlier on. Um, but the tower really does talk about a challenge that you might face when, you know, something is disturbed. The tower is a disturbance that happens. But once that disturbance happens, it's kind of quick. It's either a quick disturbance, or it's a quick ending, or it is, a quick tear down, finishing, and a starting over. So you're going to do something that is going to make you feel like you are able to start over, or something is going to happen that is making you feel like you're able to start over, because Mars rules Scorpio, which is talking about transformation and power. It also rules Aries, which is talking about attentiveness, right? And courage and taking risks, that type of thing, right? Energy. And then it is exalted in Capricorn, which is talking about building and structures. So something's got to give. Something has to change in order for you to feel, or in order for something actually to happen. Because you may have been ignoring something too here with the Tower, right? You may have been ignoring something, okay? And now you're not able to ignore it anymore, right? Two of Pentacles in your Venus position. A 2 in the Venus position. I like that. I like that. This is Jupiter in Capricorn, which is where Jupiter is right now. Jupiter in Capricorn is talking about dealing with, your reality, your financial reality, dealing with your time, managing your time wisely. This says manage your time wisely. This is also saying that you are finding pleasure, harmony, and also encouragement in change that you are seeing. This is developments that are happening, over time. Okay? These are improvements that are happening, slow progressions. Slow progressions. And the progressions need to be slow so that things can really be right. And that's funny, because here we go, bam, the Tower brings it down, and then you get the Two of Pentacles, which is like, okay, I'm seeing some change here. I can work with this change. It's limiting. It may have made me feel like it's reduced my, current state right now, but I can work with this. I can make the most of this. And there's still an opportunity for me to make the best of this, right? When you look at the current situation here, you're seeing changes that have happened even in your vulnerable state, even in your insecurities, even with you, even with you, even balance. Working with less. It's still happening. Things are still happening, right? Functionality is still there, right? It's kind of like that whole thing with like friendships and relationships and, intimacy and that type of thing. It's just kind of like working with what you've got at this point, you know. All right, great. So now that we have gotten to the Venus position, we can flip over or choose a few Romance Angels cards. Really, maybe like one or two. I don't ever really try to pull three. Let's see what's going on with these. But yeah, interesting with the Ace of Wands being there and the Magician and the Tower. That's a lot of like first ray energy, which is strong, powerful will. Taurus. And when you get moving, you move with a lot of energy and force. It's short, but it's brunt. And if you really get to running, that's when people start getting out of your way. And that's when you're pushed. So at this point, you might be feeling like you have been pushed to do something, or pushed to make something happen, right? Or pushed to initiate something, to alleviate something. La Isla Bonita is playing. Okay, Romance Angels, let's see. Trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. Okay, so if it's dealing with, romance, then yeah, just have faith in the situation, right? Have faith in your decision and stand strong in your decision. This is talking about trust your decision too. You know what I mean? Whatever that outcome might be due to that decision that you make, right? And I love that this is saying trust your decision because the twos are talking about trust and it is talking about decisions, right? Because when we think about the two or the Roman numeral two, we got the high priestess, right? That's talking about, sensitivity, right? Compassion, understanding, right? And then when we think about Taurus, we're talking about security and comfort, right? What matters. And then we think about Libra, we think about, the Justice card, and that talks about trust. And that talks about truth, right? And thought process. Trust your thought process. Trust your process. Sorry, I was pointing at that card thinking that it said trust on it and it didn't, but this one did. But she does have to trust that, what she puts out there, because I'm saying she because in the card, what goes up must come down, It's really thinking very practically. It's like, well, if I do this, this will happen. And I can trust that. I know at the beginning of the video, y'all were probably like, oh gosh. But here we go. We're in it. Now, your future cards are coming up. Your future cards are coming up. Let's see what the energy and the outcome moving forward is for you, Taurus. Oh. Oh, reciprocity for making this decision, right? The lovers. Are you choosing between two people? Choosing between two. Trust your decision. The lovers. Trusting your decision brings reciprocity, right? Because you're like, see, I knew what I was talking about. And that's what Mercury in Virgo and uh, Gemini and also Aquarius, because Mercury is exalted in Aquarius. I knew what I was talking about, right? I knew this was going to work. I knew this was the right decision. They definitely knew that, right? The Lovers is also, the sixth house of Virgo, which talks about, you know, adapting to 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 changes in a practical way that allows you to still feel like you're getting something out of it, right? You know, even if something isn't ideal, it doesn't mean that it is, you know, you have to like disregard it. I don't even know if that makes sense, But if it's not ideal, you don't have to throw it away. You can put on a different hat, put on a different jacket. You know what I mean? You can make changes, and that's okay. Trust the things that you feel like you need. Also, you have to communicate your needs as well. Okay? You've got to communicate what it is that you got to communicate first of all. So if you need to make some phone calls and you need to make some adjustments with some things, that might have to do with your financial health, your overall health, or just the health of your, you know, documents and your life on paper, right? Then do those things. You know, if you can lower a payment by making a phone call and being on the phone for 10 minutes, do it. Why not? It's really actually doing what's best for you, right? In a time when you feel reduced or restricted, but it's actually doing something different that is what's best for you in the moment because the moment is different. So it's like, ooh, let me do this because this actually is best for me in this moment because now I'm relating to how I have to adapt to this change here. You know, and also you're like, I'm realizing that who you are, or somebody could be realizing this about you at this time, and I think that this change needs to be made. Okay, let's look at the future card today for you guys and gals. Whoa, I like this. You know, you've gotten a lot of aces. So this is talking about a lot of new beginnings, a lot of change of focus. This is a breath of fresh air, right? That gasp, the first gasp, refreshing, you know. This is a new start in your mental approach, right? You got to trust this new approach. You have to also let yourself let be led, let yourself lead yourself into this new approach, right? And it's almost kind of like a prize, this new approach, because you're like, wow, I don't have to adhere to the old version of what I thought everything was supposed to be. You know, the Ace of Swords is letting go of expectations, but also embracing possibilities. And that's what Uranus and Taurus right now is asking you to do. You know? Let go of expectations, but embrace possibilities and opportunities and embrace change. Right? Definitely. I love these cards. This is the Druid's Craft Tarot. Look at that. I just love this Ace of Swords. And this is kind of like cleansing your mind of those thoughts that were plaguing you, that were weighing you down. Weighing you down so much like a rock would be weighed down in water, in a lake, in a creek, in a pond, right? Being suffocated, no longer in the mind. New perspective, new insight, right? That's what we're dealing with for you. Let's choose a Keepers of the Light Oracle card for you today. Make him love you till you can't come down. Second best, baby, put your love to the test. Right. Make him express how he feels, and baby, then you know your love is real. Right. So many people want to know how this person feels about them. How do you feel about you, baby? Because that's what's most important, how you feel about you. Because how they feel about you, that's an illusion. Right. All right, let's choose this card for Taurus before we choose their last card. And I think I'm going to do, this is Taurus, and I've done Scorpio, so I'm going to either do Leo or Aquarius after this. Lord Ganesh. And this is most definitely an exalted feeling for you, darling. Lord Ganesh, infinite abundance. Perfect. Perfect, Taurus. Okay, let me read that for y'all. Obstacles are being removed. Remember how the Seven of Wands came up before? Obstacles are being, in the Mars position, I am to be. Obstacles are being removed. Mars is exalted in Capricorn, which, Saturn rules. That talks about obstacles. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. Spiritual support and connections are increasing. Yes, Lord Ganesh, thank you. We don't need another card. At the top of the reading for you, you have the Princess of Cups, which is the equivalent of the Page of Cups. And this card is also connected to the Three of Cups, right? I would say. For me. But this is also learning, understanding our feelings, getting in touch with our emotions, right? Connecting with that emotional being. But it's coping with them too. Learning how to cope, getting a sense, right? Getting a sense of what we are feeling. Questioning what we might be feeling ourselves, within ourselves. Getting a sense of the tone, right? Also, checking that aura. Check in with yourself, Taurus. Check in with yourself. Check in with yourself. Definitely. Cherish, right? Cherish is on right now. Check in with yourself and cherish yourself. Definitely. Look at her. Look at her cherishing this moment. I wanna cherish you. Right? But definitely understand what is being taught to you. You are learning how to appreciate yourself on a deeper level. We are, you know? And when we learn to appreciate ourselves on a deeper level, then we can begin to flourish. We begin to grow. We begin to learn new concepts of ourselves. We are no longer stuck in those old concepts, Ten of Swords, about ourselves. We're in a new concept about ourselves, and thank God. Thank the Lord Ganesh, because we are abundant. So why would you want to kind of like still be the same way that you were before? You know what I mean? Wow. Thank you, Taurus. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can email providencetarotkendrick at gmail.com. I'm on Instagram. My personal account is NYC Kendrick. I usually post a lot of fitness oriented things there, fitness motivation, and, just kind of like me. Providence Tarot on Instagram, of course. I post the weeklies there. And just kind of day to day astrological things and, stuff that has to probably do with psychology and things like that. Like, share, and subscribe. Comment on the video. I will leave information in the description box if you'd like to donate to the channel. And also, I'm doing a 20-minute for $20 special. And I'm also doing a 10-minute for $10 special. The 10-minute for $10 special is probably going to be more like a past, present, and future, and I will speak of that energy within 10 minutes. Thank you, Taurus. Happy birthday season. My mother is a Taurus, and I love her very much. Venus ruled, just like me. Um, yeah, happy birthday, Taurus. Happy Earth Day, too. Work the exaltation.